I want to talk about overfunctioning because many of the women I've counseled over the years, and my whole team, counseling thousands and thousands of women, we run into overfunctioning, okay? When a system like a marriage or a family is dysfunctional, which means it's dysfunctions, it's not functioning healthily or normally or in a good, healthy way, then the people in that system, the wife or the family, have to adapt. And that adapting is so that the system can actually function, okay? So there, each member of the system has to either take on more responsibility or shift it or just deny that there's something that has to change. When a man or a woman, for that matter, is immature in the system, dysfunction is going to happen. And the marriage and or family is going to be unhealthy in some way. It's just degrees of how unhealthy, okay? If a man is addicted, he's anorexic, he will often have several areas impacted by not developing emotionally, spiritually, socially, sexually, financially, etc. Okay? The most common reaction to this dysfunction for the wife is to overfunction in the areas where he is immature. Okay? Or in a way that it would impact the marriage or the family. So she'll overcompensate. Okay? She has to become superwoman, mom, all of it to balance a system or to keep it looking normal when it is not normal. Okay? Years and decades of overfunctioning can wear you out as a woman emotionally, physically, sexually, spiritually. If you are overfunctioning, it helps keep things functioning in the family. Kids go to school, expenses are paid, but you're paying the bill for overfunctioning. Your spirit, your emotions, your body are paying the bill for this overfunctioning that you're doing because there's not a real adult man helping you in multiple areas of your life. And so you have to take on more. And also while you overfunction, he stays immature and often can get weaker and weaker and weaker. You know, you get married, he starts with doing dishes, then he stops doing dishes, then he stops doing laundry, he stops mopping, he stops going grocery shopping, he stops doing this, and all of a sudden you find yourself, you're doing everything while he's playing video games, watching TV, or, you know, online or chatting or doing something that has no relevance to the overall health and well-being of the family. His self-absorbedness keeps moving, okay? And as you both do recovery, allowing the change in the system, like if he actually moves back into maturing, that is also another challenge because it'll challenge your overfunctioning. And so if he does step into recovery, there's that moving that back. Now, if he chooses maturity over time, you'll really need to systemically and continually let him have responsibility and allow the system to go back to where he's functioning and healthier. And that, for the woman who's overfunctioning, can be really, 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 really super scary because you know how to do it as long as you're doing it. And because you had to overfunction because of his immaturity, okay, you know how to do that. You don't know how to work necessarily with being able to trust he's going to follow through or that it's going to get done or it's going to get done right or maturely. So there is that tension, even in the best case where he is maturing. Now, when you get to that point where you feel he's doing recovery and maturing, you might want some professional help to help you stop overfunctioning and him to pick up functioning, okay? Because it can be a really tricky game because you've been mom to him in areas of his life for so long. To overfunction and to pick up after him and to literally pick up after him, but in so many ways cover up for him. It's a real challenge when the system starts to change. You'll need to evaluate where you are in overfunctioning to be able to transition into a healthy marriage with him, okay? And I've seen this miracle happen as men do their recovery, that they can actually take responsibility, grow up spiritually, emotionally, financially, and move back. But you have to acknowledge that you overfunction. If you're feeling tired and worn out and alone and frustrated, you're probably overfunctioning. Now, you chose to overfunction for good reasons. You love your family. You have to survive. Someone has to pay the bills. Someone has to clean up. Someone has to do this. And since you're the only one willing to do it, you got to do way and above what you should be doing. Okay? Your overfunctioning is real, and it is something as you heal, you're going to need to look at that and then have a plan for transitioning that as he's taking more and more responsibility and doing his recovery, that you can shift out of that role and move from mommy back to wife and lover and friend, which is what you signed up for. But because of immaturity, he dropped and you had to overfunction. And this overfunctioning is something you'll have to look at in the process because you're married to a man who is emotionally immature.